time we did this, which was what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. We are trying to gather some final pieces to bring the final fight to a conclusion. To assist in your guys' efforts, and that had led you guys back to Ashir, to see if there was any information regarding her, or Tiamat, her, however you want to pronounce that. And you guys went into one of the other parts of the vaults in Ashir, and you met a keeper of the vault down in Ashir, which turns out to be, looks like one of the original debts that were repurposed to serve and basically upkeep these documents and these archives so they don't fall out of fall into disrepair and fade away. So trying to remember who had the conversation with the keeper. It was like, I think it was Scamos. Yes, he had those conversations and had some revelations. Darius was passed out in a corner because guy was asleep. And the rest of the party, I think you guys were looking for any books or anything of that nature that could help. There was a vault with weapons in here, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also a device that Keeper was using to try and make contact with somebody on the other end of it. That was, in his words, would connect you to someone else on the other continent. And then there was other discussions about, like, we're not the only, this isn't the only, the only place, and lots of revelations about how the gods actually weren't gods to begin with. That was a reveal, and that they have gained their power through some other means. And that was where we left off, and we'll go ahead and pick up from there. I know Scamos is still waking up, so is there anything? And everybody is in the vault, by the way, by this point. I would assume Arir, you have probably joined everybody by this point.
Me and Gazik were working on the new thing for player mounting the PTRDs to play.
Yes. Give me two of your Tinker's checks there, boss man. Which would be your whatever your main stat for your repairs are.
Oh, right.
Yep. And Gauze, if you want, it should probably be intelligence. Gauze, if you want to give me a straight intelligence roll, and then let me know what your numbers are.
Okay.
And then we'll have everybody come join the party.
So that is a 24.
Okay. What'd you get, Star?
I haven't rolled yet.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 16.
Okay. So between the both of you, you're able to complete what you guys are working on. Now there is one problem. The sites, you will have to you'll have to probably test your make sure your 0 is still good, and also because you're moving, that's also something else that you may possibly have to take into account.
So, Star, I believe you wanted this to be a sit one where you like sit in it like it was a AAA gun on a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like harnessing, I think.
It's not going to be a full-blown chair. It would be more like a...
You'd be kind of like propped against
yeah,
Plode's back.
basically.
But either way, Plode won't be doing the shooting.
It's just
on
a crew
It's-
tox.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the
Yeah.
sights just need to be for the user who's going to be firing.
Yep.
That is very possible. But that can be done at a later date.
Anytime. Yep. Which you guys have done that. You guys start heading down to Gozik. You remember where they went before, so you're taking a rear down back into the archives, and you'll join them shortly.
We are on our way.
Yep.
To the
So,
rickety asshole.
Darius, you have woken up by this point. I would assume you're awake if you want to hop in and.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna do this for those of you that don't know what a crew tox is.
Yeah.
I'll picture.
What?
Crew talks.
And-
It's a towel thing. So.
Yeah. So something along the lines of that is what
Yeah.
you're going for. You don't really have a proper seat. You're more of like bracing yourself on Plode in some way. While
Yeah.
the gun is mounted.
Like the idea was mainly just like a harness would strap.
Yeah.
You know how like. Basically, you're pushing against a rope on your back or something. Harness, whatever.
Anyway. So Scamos, if you are alert, you guys are. It goes back, and we're still waiting for the device, excuse me, to respond. And Keeper is just sitting there looking at it. And Darius, you do notice like Scamos and this old debt looking at this device. It's like it's very bright.
Obviously, I've not been in the room as shit's been
you were, but you were passed the fuck out. So,
yeah,
because you
I
hit
just
your
sort
head.
of the fuck. Basically, Darius has woken up.
And then you're awake now, and you just see Scamos and staring at this computer or device of some sorts. Yes, for those at home, it's basically a rudimentary computer. So. Think like original iMac, like or not even iMac, like Apple II levels of old school or Commodore. Yeah.
Oh god. And next he's gonna tell us that the fucking dinosaurs in the jungle can have spaceships too.
Possibly. I mean, you are. And Nazis on the moon. What?
Oh, so that's what that weird symbol on the moon was.
Except they're rats.
Yep. Anyway. So Darius, what is your reaction to this? You just still kind of like waking up and you're like, okay, what's going on?
There's just an eternal thought in Darius' head. The fuck is that thing? Why is there a really old debt? What the hell is going on here? What happened? Just all internal, but
everybody's just looking at this. Yeah.
He's like not making a comment. He's just sort of like, I don't have the processing power to deal with this. What the fuck is happening?
The Keeper turns around and he's like, that's probably going to take a while. And he gets up and starts walking around doing what he was doing before and like cleaning stuff and
maintenance.
Yes. And he does unlock the armory for you guys if you want to go in there and look.
Bigger weapons.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
What's this? Ancient weapons of great magical power? No,
Or-
we don't need such things. Or highly advanced technological weapons.
Yep.
Are we talking like Gungnir or Excalibur from Valhalla?
I mean, you have Gungnir. I mean, you technically have it.
Yeah. That's actually an interesting thing. If we go in there, is Gungnir sort of like the same vein of style as?
Yes. Yes.
Oh. So basically, all ancient weapons are just sort of like the Isu sort of styled weapon
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah.
There's another Gungnir in there actually.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's more than one.
Why am
Can I get a
only
great-
one?
Can I get a great bow?
You want a great bow? Why?
To stick
I got-
Gungnir in as an arrow.
Exactly.
Although I think for something an arrow quote unquote that big, you need a ballista.
Well, that's what like a great bow
Yeah.
is. It's basically like a ballista, like the bow arms on a ballista, right? Think Dark Souls, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just absolutely gigantic, and it's more based
The
on
RPG.
strength. It's more based on strength rather than anything else, because the amount of power required to draw the damn
Is
thing.
Kazik saying is there an RPG? Did you just ask that?
No,
did.
the RPG bow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
as far as
you
high
mean
explosives.
Mirkwood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I know the bow off by heart. My God.
You do
There
happen to see an
is-
RPG in there. It's Morrowind.
It's Morrowind.
There's just a half-bodied man with mechanical spider legs, just scattering about inside the vault.
There's there's an axe.
6-string.
Hey, Canty,
It's-
what's your favorite color?
Red.
Okay.
Why am I
I'm
not
assuming that I
surprised?
was asked. I'm assuming I was asked that question as well. Oh no.
There's an axe. Yep.
The same color.
A legitimate
What-
axe, not a guitar.
What kind of axe are we talking? A one-handed axe? A fucking two-handed? Like, is it a big axe? A little axe?
I mean, it's
Wood-cutting or cutting axe.
it's shaped like a Norse axe, like a war axe.
like,
but
are we talking
this
like
thing-
realistic Norse axe, or are we talking like exaggerated? Hey, this is what
exaggerated.
Okay, so
Is
it's
it
like the
Ysgrimur?
massive. It's like the massive beard on. It's a
Yes.
massive bearded
Yes.
axe, basically.
Yes.
It's Ysgrimur, isn't it?
No.
Ysgrimor.
I'm probably
Are you
fucking up the name.
that's Skyrim?
Yes.
No.
Are
it's
you on
not.
about? Are you on about Wuthrad? Ysgrimor's axe. Wuthrad.
Yeah, that.
Which is a double-headed axe.
There's that in there. The other Gungnir's in there.
Just many weapons to make you go, run away, little girl, run away.
There's another shield that's like what you have, Darius.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what I have, or is
It's
it?
exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
Yes.
So. this
By the
was
way,
exactly.
it's the one that Athena gave you.
Oh. Which I haven't used.
No, you haven't.
I've
She's
never
very
actually.
disappointed about
I've never actually checked what it could do. If it
Yeah, I
could do
know.
anything. I should do that.
You know, maybe you should.
So I'm assuming it's like exactly the same, even to the marking on it.
Yes.
Okay. So these were basically the weapons of the gods were just common shit back in the day.
I mean, possibly.
Basically, the gods are just more like a higher technological set of beings, realistically. But it's probably,
mean,
you know.
Yeah. By the way, Gozik and Arir have finally shown up down here. They were led and sent in your direction.
So they just walked into this vault.
Yeah, this big vault, and
Now you've never told me that fucking Gungnir had like a sort of similar aesthetic to the shield. That would have clicked something in my brain. But you never actually said that, so
nope.
okay.
Nope. No one asked. So
usually when you describe something, I mean, you pull this one out your ass afterwards, didn't you?
No, I actually didn't. But
okay.
Anyway, yeah. Anybody picking up the axe, or are you just gonna leave it sit there?
Is this the only axe in the room?
Yes.
Well,
there's swords and other stuff in there. There's one that looks like a katana, and you're like, huh. That looks useless.
A delicate blade for a weaker armor class.
Just looking at it, like there's different types of swords, and like there is bows and stuff here, but like, some of them are. Go ahead.
When you say katana, like the only thing I can think of is like I'm just thinking back to like Shaman King and just fucking the dude that has a massive fucking pompadour, who has like the wooden sword. Just Yamatano Orochi, and he just fucking launches like snake heads.
But yeah, there's katanas in here. There is. Let's see. There's one other thing.
One other thing.
Yeah, and Arir, you notice this right away.
It's a mech suit.
It's not a mech suit. There is a pistol in the corner. And it looks different from what you have seen.
Is it 1911?
No, it is not a 1911.
No, what are you on about? It's a Glock 18. It's fully automatic. Let's go.
Deagle. It's a Deagle.
It's a fucking Deagle.
My fucking god.
Bang! 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 Bang!
Arir's gonna walk up.
He picks it up and it's almost as big as he is. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's the fucking Deagle chambered in fucking 50 BMG. That's what it is. So it's just.
Yeah. This is a strange wand.
Wait, hold on.
Waves it around.
It's
magic missile.
It's like magic missile.
That's what's written on the side, by the way. It's not Deagle, it's magic missile on the side.
Yeah, fucking Ray just pulls it out. I cast magic missile, just fires a fucking 50 AE into his motherfucker's chest. This is why you can't use this sort of shit, because we're gonna make jokes like a motherfucker.
I know. Anyway. Yeah, so do you pick it? You just see it out the corner of your eye or ear, and you're like, that looks interesting.
Ooh, shiny. Yes, Arir's definitely gonna pick that up.
By the way, it is gold plated. It's not silver. It's
oh my
legitimate
god!
gold
Of course
plated.
it is.
Oh my
god. Oh, perfect.
So while looking around this armory, obviously there's the axe there as well.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that this is set up like an actual armory would be set up, but more modernized. So like it's proper weapon racks. And I'm assuming that the axe is in its own weapon rack where there should be other axes, but there's none there.
Yes.
Right.
I'm gonna go up and inspect the axe. Does it give off like a magical? I don't know. Is it like a really?
You get close to it and you just feel like this static in the air as you're getting closer to it.
I'm going to like just point my finger, put my hand closer into it. Does it get more tingly?
It zaps you.
Yeah,
it zaps you and you like pushes you like you can almost get kicked out of the room.
You just. So like everyone's just casually chilling next, like a fucking dwarf sails through the group.
Basically.
Arir bends down to pick the weapon up. Oh, Gozik goes flying above him.
You see him pick up, he's like, "Oh, what's this?" And you just see guys go, "Ah, smack!"
Just like hits the wall and just slides down it slowly.
Just following back his trajectory back to the axe, like, huh. Like, so with this axe, is it like like you one-hand it, or is it like a big fucking battle axe?
Depending on what kind of species are you, it would depend on if you one-handed or two-handed it. It's that big.
So it. Oh,
If you're a
Okay.
goblin, you can one-hand it. If you're a minotaur, you need to two.
Okay.
So I assume that if you're large, you could one-hand it.
Yes.
Right. So for us, it's a two-handed axe, basically. It's a big old battle axe.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Gosnick had a bit of an issue there. I'm assuming that it rejected him by that. It did not
No.
like him, or it's
No.
got that much power that it forced him away. Then.
You'll have to find out.
Did you wear your static electricity discharge bracelet?
How did hitting the wall feel?
Ow.
I may be joining you.
Arir sits down eagerly and starts watching Darius.
So,
like, and you're wearing your full plate armor too, aren't you?
Yes, I am. But I'm gonna do this with, like a steady stance, able to slam my foot down if I can.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah.
And
with
my
my
strength.
Grounded.
So, yeah. Able to like
see somewhere to go.
So able to put my foot down properly, and so I got as stable as I am as solid as I can be stance wise to grab this thing.
Yep.
With my strength and everything, I'm hoping that will help.
Yep.
And not yeet me across the room like that. And I'm not going to be hesitant with trying to grab it. I'm just going to, like, as you would grab an axe, just grab,
Okay.
high and low on the axe with both hands.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw as you grab the axe.
While he's doing this, I'm gonna be like walking up, not next to him, but like adjacent to him.
Getting ready to avoid this. Yeah.
No, I'm way out of the path. I'm fine when it comes to that.
That's an 18.
You also get tossed from grabbing the axe,
What?
and it tosses you across the room.
Like,
I'm gonna go over to Arir real quick while he's like inspecting this deagle and like steal a screwdriver from him.
Oh no, Arir's now rolling on the ground, laughing.
I always do that. I'm just gonna like nab like a tool that like has like an insulating tool rod on it or something.
You pick it.
Or like handle, I mean.
It says Banhammer 2.0.
Oh no!
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh, it'll work.
Etched in the
like,
side.
I assume is the handle made of wood? I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah. It's just a simple.
Why are you lot so obsessed with this? Isn't some rite of passage.
If it has the ability to yeet someone before you can touch it, there's clearly some power behind it.
Yes, power that you cannot use because you get yeeted when you touch it.
At least I gave it a shot. Why don't you go?
Why would I do that?
Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to it, and I'm gonna just like do the same thing that I did with my hand, but with the hammer instead. See if it discharges it.
So roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Like I failed at 18, bro. This is.
He's a dwarf. He just got it. He can do well on Constitution. I'm sure.
No, I got 16 instead.
Yeah. All of a sudden, as you see that, you see Gosnick, as you're saying, as you guys are conversing, you see Gosnick get tossed again.
Yeah, he just goes right in between us.
Yep.
Hey, fellas.
I mean,
I made a shocking revelation.
Like being thrown.
By the way, Waller, I'm assuming nothing in this room is something I like recognize itself aside from the stuff that which he has.
It looks similar. It has a similar like quality, like build quality to Gungnir has been, and some of the other weapons that you've seen the gods use, like what they have on their persons. It's very similar, just like stylings. Yeah. So.
My question is, what god used a damn axe like that?
It's one of them that you haven't seen yet.
And it's throwing off lightning to repulse us as well.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Thor's using an axe. Yes. He definitely does not have a Mjolnir.
He also has an axe.
Yeah, he has both, buddy.
Oh, so what is it? Fucking.
I mean,
forget what it's called.
It killed him, but only if he died.
Yeah.
I forget what the fucking name of the axe was.
Well, in Marvel, it was freaking Stormbreaker. Yeah.
Stormbreaker. There you go.
Rear picks himself up, wipes away the tears of laughter, and then basically says, "You know, guys, I can cast that sphere to bubble it for a short amount of time, and then you can walk up to it, and when the bubble releases, you can try to grab
it."
You can try to do that.
Why don't you get Claude to try it? See what happens with him.
Hey, look, I already have my thing, and he pulls out the
he pulls up the deagle, and as he pulls it up, the fucking slides forward.
No, as he pulls it out and he's waving it upwards, he pulls the trigger.
And you just boom, and then you see like the keeper look at you as like the roof, like there's some pieces of roof falling, and he's just like,
"How big is the hole?"
It's like, I'd say the size of like a cantaloupe, like going through the roof.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and the keeper's like, "Please, no firing of discharging of weapons in the facility. Thank you," and goes back to working.
You just like Gozik just like has his ears in his fingers in his ears, like
mop.
No, like he's like, oh, good thing you expected that.
As much idiocy since my time in the army.
Rear went from sitting up, wiping away tears, pulling the trigger. Now he's laying back down on his back.
Yeah.
And all he is hearing right now is...
All we're hearing from Maria is mop, mop, mop.
Yep. Mop. Mop.
Be good.
And we stop touching the electroshock therapy stick.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I want to go back to it. No, I'm kidding.
Round 3 for Gothic.
Do you think if I jump when it shocks me, it'll send me farther back?
Probably.
There are easier ways to fly.
Says the man that can fly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway.
I'm assuming Rear knows about electricity.
I mean, you do.
Okay.
Yes.
Just check. So here, Rear's hearing is gonna recover, and then he's gonna walk up to Gozik and basically say, "Look, all you have to do is ground yourself here. Take and I'm gonna look around. Is there a metal wire or a metal?"
Oh no.
Okay, as an electrician, grounding yourself is the opposite of what you want to do.
Yes. If you're going to touch something that's metal, you want something that's insulated from the fucking electrical current. You want rubber, motherfucker.
You just have to redirect it to
I
somewhere
like
else.
this. Continue, Rear.
Oh
Continue.
boy.
Look, Rear knows about electricity. I don't.
Somebody's about to die.
All you gotta do
There
is
are
make
two
sure.
as an electrician, there are two options for dealing with it. Either keep yourself not grounded, or ground the thing that has the electricity so it has no electricity left.
Anyway, Rear, continue.
I'm basically doing the electrostatic bracelet thing that you're supposed to do before you work on PC.
That's not gonna help here, by the way.
Yeah, but Rear doesn't know that.
Yeah. But anyway.
I mean, if you want to try that, Rear, go for it.
I'm good. I don't want an axe. I'm just saying, if you keep getting zapped, well, unless you truly do like it, and then by all means, it's over there.
Is the Rear gonna try it?
No. He was just offering helpful advice to Gozik, or what he thought was helpful.
Okay. For something a little less shocking, what else looks interesting here besides this Zappy Hammer?
The Zappy Hammer, the deagle that he picked up and is now brandishing like a child. That Rear is now brandishing like a child.
Sounds about
the other shield that like Senior Darius has, and there's another gun getting her in here.
So I assume Arrear's playing with the Deagle right now. It's like
Pretty much.
Do you even know how to use that?
Well, yeah, I just did. And he looks up.
He did just have a negligent discharge, so.
Do you even know how to put it on safety?
Is
What's
there a safety?
Safety.
I mean, I know not a lot of guns don't have that, but that looks too advanced to like not have a safety.
Well, I
Do any
mean,
of your guns have a safety?
No.
For
Yeah, it's called not around in a chamber.
For reference, nothing Rear has ever built has had a safety switch or a safety option.
Safety is optional.
So he's looking at you kind of curiously, like, what do you mean?
What is the safety?
Basically, yeah. In the meantime, Rear's just kind of looking at it, trying to see if it, comes apart. And he's just off in the corner, ooh, shit.
Ooh, shiny.
The keeper comes by and he's like, "Are you guys having trouble with the axe there?"
Yeah, it seems
A
to
lot of
not like us.
electricity.
Well, you have to have the right. How shall I say? You have to be chosen to use it.
I guess I'm not it since it chose to shock me instead.
Yeah, I guess we
That
ain't
is
that
correct.
Well, how do you know if you're chosen before?
special. Other than attempting to touch it.
You have to touch it and see what happens.
I mean, it doesn't hurt that much.
Mm.
Most of the pain is in the back of my head right now from hitting the wall. Ow.
Rear kind of like inches
I mean-
closer to it. So,
Do you have
Not-
Plode with you?
Plode's in the room, but he's
Okay.
not directly with it.
Okay.
Blood's gonna explode.
That'd be the third time?
Mhm.
Fifth.
Probably.
You probably
assuming
forgot the other
As you're
5
looking
times.
at it, or Plode comes behind you.
God, no.
Master,
Hi, Plode.
how are you?
Doing well.
He's getting
Not
sent
Plode
Are
to
you
Force. Oh no.
Oh God, not again.
not again? Are you planning to hurt yourself with that axe?
Planning to hurt yourself.
Well, no. Well, maybe, actually, to be perfectly honest.
Question.
You see,
Does
if-
Plode sound different than normal?
No.
Okay.
I'm just not doing the voice right now, so.
actually, hey, Plode, do you want to go and try and get it?
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
He just looks at you, and then looks up and grabs it, and just grabs the axe.
Plodes our fucking vision. God damn it!
Plode,
And
are you
you
feeling
see-
fine?
That's a shocking turn of events.
I know, right?
Now,
Waller,
is
we
it-
are not the Avengers.
Wait, hang on. Is it trying to still shock Plode, but because
No.
No. I think it's because he literally has no morality whatsoever.
No. There's another reason.
Oh.
He's an inanimate object.
No.
He's an
He
animate
physically
object.
can.
Yes,
Physically
yes.
cannot feel it.
And Plode looks at you, and his eyes are a different color.
Are they glowing bright blue?
Yes, they are.
There was where they turned red and started talking about how his logic was undeniable.
Oh my god.
It's okay, Arir. It will all be over soon. Like full-on voice change. Oh
Full on
shit.
Hal, like Hal from freaking 1980
I'm-
Space Odyssey. Oh god.
I'm sorry, Duskhelm. I cannot do that.
Hey,
Oh,
Flo,
Yes.
do an internal analysis. How much power is flowing through the system right now?
We're at sustaining 100% throughput.
Not like 110 or
No.
200. Okay. Do
Wait
a
sec.
self-diagnostic for eye color check.
Normal.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I guess we just accept.
Floyd now has an axe. By the way, he's
Show me what-
one-handing. He's one-handing this thing, by the way.
I just imagine Plode hitting the battlefield. Show me what metal is for your misbegotten kind. And it just deploys magical strings.
We're just gonna walk up to Plo. Is the curator or the?
Yeah.
Super.
He's still.
Yeah, he's here.
I'm gonna kind of point to Plo and look at the curator and be like, "So he's the chosen one."
Well, he's a descendant of our kind, so yeah.
Well, why'd you look at that?
By the way, Rear wasn't here for that, so yeah.
Hey,
Well-
Rear, if he's gonna be
Wait a
brandishing
fucking
an
minute.
axe, can we call him Axeplode?
Well, you see, I intentionally avoided the, anything
Hold
near
on.
X.
Hold on a second. Why am I getting the created will inherit the mantle vibes from this bullshit right now?
I don't know.
Fuck you. We're not having a Cortana situation. Fuck off.
So what does that axe do? Does it have any weird features that we should know about?
It uses lightning.
That was self-evident, yes. Anything else?
Depending on who wields them, it grants them immense power.
This wouldn't happen to be in the form of a ship explosion type power, would it? I've already had that issue.
Potentially.
I mean, I watched somebody 1v1 a god with this, so potentially.
Right.
1v1 a god with this.
Yes.
Oh boy.
If you take the axe and you do a pumping action on it, does a shell eject out of it?
Let's
No.
fucking charge axe.
No.
Okay. Well, all I'm gonna say is if that explodes, this one is actually not my fault.
You're still gonna get the blame.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you didn't build that one, Amir, technically.
Well,
Oh yeah, you did steal it.
of course I didn't build the axe.
No.
No, you're on about the
Upload.
construct, you dick.
Well, yeah, that's true. I found it and then did my normal, modification.
You
I'm happy-
understand there's probably human soul in there, right?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people had said. Well, that's why the last one exploded. Apparently, they become self-aware.
You understand I'm self-aware, right?
You're not gonna be exploding anytime soon, are you?
Nope.
That's good. Can you tell me how to have both self-aware and not explode at the same time?
You don't put charges in them that cause them to explode when they get to the awareness level. Part of their, I guess the easiest word is part of the spell it's used to run them.
To overload the core.
Yes.
So what I'm getting here is every construct is basically a Warforged.
Yes.
Well, so wait. If that's the case, then how come you're still powered and yet haven't exploded?
Because I don't have the spell, my variation of the spell, and probably this construct as well does not carry the pieces that cause us to explode once we become self-aware.
And what pieces aside from the core are those?
I mean, the core is all you need to use to destroy the whole construct.
Well, yes, but the core is also what's powering the construct.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
the same one that I was talking to last time, right?
Yes, it is.
So, I think Minnie's mishearing something. Basically,
Yes.
the spell is slightly altered from the spell you used
Yes.
to create Plode. The way that you
Ah.
The
set
original
runes,
spell, the
yeah.
original spell uses a human, uses a human soul into the construct,
Whereas
or a soul into the construct, whereas Plode's isn't. Well, it is
Well,
a
Plodes
soul, but
is,
it's different.
and
But it's different.
it's more dormant until it eventually
Yeah.
awakens after time. But
And
there's a
they
safety measure
altered
in
it.
your runes.
They altered it so they wouldn't have the issue that happened before,
Mm.
i.e., the whole self-awareness causing people to realize, oh hey, we're fighting for the wrong side.
Yes.
is this altered spell only used on people who are willing to own this procedure?
The altered spell, no.
The altered spell just sort of became the common spell that
There's
dwarves
a
used.
specific reason. There's a specific reason Scamos is asking that question, based on a previous conversation with this curator.
Yes. Yes. What happened was, as the war continued, those
Started
options,
drafting people.
certain sides started drafting people. Yes.
And then
Gotta
blew them up if they became self-aware of what was going on.
Yes.
So you wouldn't happen to know the original spell then, would you?
Well, your Plode that you have there, your construct has it.
The one I just found?
Yes.
Oh.
His soul isn't just aware.
Okay. Is there any chance that when it does become aware, it still does the kaboom thing? Accidental?
No.
No. Okay, perfect. Is there any way to make it aware now?
Doesn't. It
Or-
takes time.
Okay, well. I will wait and see.
But if you're looking to fight one of the gods, I think this will help you. One, if not many.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think it will, but I'm gonna go with the big cannon on his right shoulder and the 2 PTRDs on his left are probably gonna work just as well.
I'm sorry, I just need
Maybe.
to break this chain just a little second. The fuck you chatting, bitch?
What?
She puts something up there. Canthea makes a joke, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot he has a girl that." I'm like, "Excuse me."
But yes,
Uh-huh.
Scamos. Some of those souls were drafted.
Some or most.
Again, it depends on what side of point of view you're on.
Some or most.
Some. and most of the nether side. How do you think they developed the way to improve and gain power from those that worship them? Similar technology.
Suitcase nuke time.
Is it?
Speaking, Arrear's gonna snap his head up as if he just remembered something.
Uh-oh.
By the way, talking about explosions, you don't happen to know or have anything that makes a really big one?
I mean,
Oh.
we do
Oh, God,
down
no.
here, actually.
Really?
Do not put it in his hands.
Yeah, Arrear's already holding his hands out. You wouldn't happen to be able
Just
to...
getting a glare from Darius.
He looks by the way, the curator looks at Scamos, like,
Mhm.
do I trust him?
Skimmer shakes his head.
Just, no.
No.
Arrear's shaking his head, yes.
Scamos is already like, you probably, at the point of information Scamos has, you probably shouldn't even trust him with it, but, you know, we're definitely not giving it to Arrear.
So, if you follow me and you see him grab keys, and he leads you deeper into the archive. This part is the area that even the those of his kind, and he points to Cam, they're not allowed to go.
Why can't he come?
Well, he's coming now, but his kind normally are not allowed in here.
Okay.
You are what city we're below, aren't you?
I understand, but it was also the safest place to store these. Trust us. Trust me, the dragons helped. And you see him pull out one of the keys, and you see him separate into two, like it separates into two keys, and he puts one in one and one in the other, and then he's like, I need somebody to turn the other key.
I'll do
No.
it. Can I reach the key?
He's reaching for the key. Cam, do you try and stop him?
Cam is just gonna grab the key himself.
Okay.
Arrear does
And
look heartbroken.
the curator looks at you and turn the key, and you guys turn the key at the same time, and these doors like break open for a second, and you hear air rushing, and it's like unseals, and then they slowly open up, and leads into a big bunker, underground, like protected storage unit. And he flips on some torches as he walks around in there. He starts lighting things, and you guys are noticing, yeah, there's Scamos, you're noticing on the walls so similar numbers and formulas from what you saw previously.
Great.
Yes. Scamos is like, we have a thing now. And Arrear, you do recognize these two as the lights. It starts brightening up in the room.
Hey, wait a minute. These look like my calculations that I did when I was...
I just want to point out.
Gaza, could you handle Arrear for a minute?
Well, I don't know what to do anymore. Alcohol doesn't affect him.
Hit him on the back of the head hard enough that he goes to sleep.
Float has the shocky stick. Stay back.
You
Yes,
guys watch
Arrear,
as
you
Float.
don't.
As the rear says
do
that,
me a favor.
Plode just steps away.
hang on. As you guys say that, you see Plode. You see the axe like touch your rear's back, and then you see like a little bit of like a like shock, and then you just see your rear fall like pass out.
These are
He falls on his face, and in his back pants pocket is the deagle stuck in gangster style.
No, it's not even in your back pocket. It's literally.
Like,
It's literally in the.
just like slowly take it out away from the trigger, so he doesn't blast his own ass off. And fiddle with it till I find the safety.
You have put it on safe finally.
Fucking. I just imagine it being like, stay back. Plode has the shock. It's like he didn't even get the full sentence out. It's just fucking.
Yep.
thank you, Plode.
You're welcome.
Also, I want to point out, most technologically advanced, like, shit there is. Open bunker.
Cattle prod.
Torches.
Yep.
They're magical torches. Why not use free stuff?
Yep.
When you don't got the
Or-
fuel to keep generators going.
I
Nope.
mean, what's
Okay,
wrong with having
Okay,
flashlights
how's the
stuck to the
computer
walls?
working?
Anyway,
It's just a bunch of las guns firing continuously.
so yeah, Arir is passed out, and Darius, you were gonna say something.
Oh no! I was making a comment on the torches program.
Okay.
I start dragging a rear away.
Okay.
Where's that acid at?
This is my mission. This is why I'm here, is to safeguard these.
If you're meant to safeguard them and you're showing them to us, I'm assuming that you see the need for them in a way. Then
I mean, there would be no other reason why you guys would be here. And looking where you were looking. So one of them has gone rogue, I assume.
One of them.
there was
Both
3.
of the-
There
yeah.
were 3. There's 1 left.
Really,
Hmm.
2 down.
Well, I mean, I've also been hatching a plan of revenge for centuries now, but that's beside the point.
A plan of revenge against whom?
The people that put me here.
Like Scamus is gonna give him like a little bit of a cockeyed look for a minute. And then are you referring to the, and I say this very heavily here, and like it does very heavy obvious air quotes, the gods?
Yes.
Dun dun dun.
Time has
Made you realize they're kind of fucking dicks?
yes.
Rear just mumbles in his, especially the bitch that won't shut up.
Yeah.
We all just sort of hear that from behind us.
You just
He's
have to
not
be
wrong.
boom boom.
But yes. These are all that are left. All the others were used or destroyed in the aftermath.
But by saying these are all that are left, how many are we talking?
There is 6 total.
That's still way more power than definitely needed.
Gotta remember what these were designed to do. So
Yep.
Nuke Mars?
potentially.
I believe you may have slightly confused Star with that one.
I know. Anyway, but yeah, he's just sitting there, and he's just like there's a railing, and you just see the curator go up, lean on it, just staring at the devices in the middle of the bunker.
Darius just gonna glance at Scamos. What the hell's Scamos doing while looking at this? Can I see the cogs turning in his head? Like,
Now,
It's just-
Scamos actually looks rather accepting of the current situation there. And I'm going to kind of look towards our caretaker construct friend and then go, so if you have a plan of revenge, what help do you need?
A way out.
A way out of here, a way out of...
Yes, and then a way to get past their defenses, as it were, enter their
domain.
domain. Yes, undetected.
I think we could probably arrange both of those.
I only need one. The others can be yours if you guys need them.
Sound fair to you guys? And I kind of glance across the group.
I do not expect to find us needing more than one.
yeah, it
And
seems a bit
if we do, we
overkill,
can always
but-
come back.
Yeah.
And it's settled then. We're going to destroy them all.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
We're going to destroy them all.
Eat the gods, become the gods.
Oh God, no.
Sorry, man.
Cease and desist.
Can you guys, you that follow ones, live with that?
How about we don't?
Well, sounds like we just made a deal to do it.
And they kind of deserve it, Cam.
Do all of them deserve it?
Considering the reason that they ended up in their position that they are in is by mass murdering an entire another continent of people and forcing people into the unwilling servitude of lives such as his, and I point to our caretaker.
Well,
Yes.
okay. There are some. Okay, did all of them do
Some,
that?
yes. We
Pretty much every
chose-
single one of them, as far as I have been able to figure out, has done that. Yes. That is how they got their power. By
Then how did we
essentially
get
stealing
ours?
it and forcing it from others.
By killing a god?
The cycle started with them, and I would see a way to end it.
All I can see is Daenerys Targaryen, breaker of chains in the background. We will break the wheel! And it's just Scamos just goes off the deep end.
Do not
Anyway.
misunderstand me. I'm sure that some of them at least deserve it. But all of them I have doubts about.
And what about yours, Scamos? What the fuck was that mouse icon?
Don't worry about it.
Given how all of the gods seem to obtain their power, they would all They is
There-
equally guilty as the
There
others.
is more than one way to obtain godhood. As I recall, we ourselves are well on the way to that.
And even so, the power that we have obtained still probably should not be ours. The things that happened because of the gods there, the things that they did as people to attain the positions they are at, are unforgivable. They destroyed
Are you
Cam,
speaking of the
as you
actions that these particular individuals took, or are you speaking of the actions that brought about the power that these individuals happen to have?
the particular actions that they took to obtain their power.
And how do we know that all of them are those?
And let's
not
not
just
forget,
ones that are the inheritors of the power from those who did the actions.
And I'm going to look at the caretaker and give him that. Would you like to explain this far better than I can? Because Scamos is still a little bit in system shock.
I mean, you both are not wrong. I mean, on the flip side, the power initially was created by those that may no longer exist, but also by those that do exist as well. Many of them, especially the older, more powerful ones, date back that far. But as they've feuded and fought, seems like over the years, from what the rumors I have heard, that yes, there may be those that are completely unaware of what has transpired for this power to be a thing. But to Scamos's point as well, I would agree that regardless of that this is still an unforgivable act, that so many have died and sacrificed themselves to propel so few forward.
Especially those that were enslaved to do so.
Yes, and I'm not arguing that those who actually perform those acts deserve some form of punishment at the very least. But we have no guarantee and no knowledge of which ones did that.
What do you suggest? Doing a trial for every one of them and then figuring that out? And I don't think with their power they're going to stand trial.
I suggest we do some investigation to try to obtain that information should we decide to take it upon ourselves to rectify that wrong.
When they decide they don't like us digging into their past affairs. You think they're really going to answer us when they've been as cagey about everything else?
And as soon as you walk out of here, they will probably try and contact you. So be aware of that.
There are more ways to find out information about the past than asking them directly.
So what do you propose, traveling back to the other continent and trying to find it there? Going into the
we take the
wasteland
time
that
to
they made
figure
it?
out the method.
who knows? Maybe that computer has Wikipedia. Sorry.
The fucking DOS version
on their Twitter timeline.
The DOS version of Wikipedia and Twitter. Oh god.
Oh my god, this guy said something racist like 3
20
millennia
years
ago. Cancel him.
Because if the only qualifier for deserving that they need to be erased from existence is having this power, then we should die too.
At this point, Cam, and I'm going to kind of look across the entire group at this point, given how dangerous this power is and the problems that it's caused, if we can't surrender that power, that may not be the worst outcome.
In that, I believe we are going to have to disagree.
Hmm. Well, it seems you all have some things to work out. Would you like to conduct more research then?
Also, like, out of character question,
Yes.
if the gods can't contact us until we leave this place, how come Tiamat can know that the books are taken out of that cage? If normal gods can't even reach us?
Tiamat's in the same plane.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
That is the big difference here. Tiamat is in the same plane with us.
And also, you guys are in a separate part of the archive right now that is got some
Even
special protections, i.e. the reason the thing is they did not want them to know that all this was still here. So,
Was it lead lined or something?
well,
Essentially.
essentially,
line.
yeah. Anyway, we can move these out at a later time. Let's take you back, and I guess it sounds like you guys need to do some more research.
Perhaps not quite yet, but something I do intend to come back.
You don't. I will say this. Do not understand how many lives were lost.
I expect I do. I also expect that kicking random people in the balls is not going to help.
How many people do you think were lost, Cam?
Well, I don't have population numbers for the period of time, but I imagine it was a rather large percentage. Alternatively, we can go upstairs and start doing a population count of the island and start doing some math.
If you could guess, Cam, what is the highest number that you can contemplate?
Google.
Does that really matter?
It might.
Whether there are 7 zeros or 10 on the number, does that really make a difference?
I mean, technically, yes.
That's
That's
good to say.
If, if you're gonna add a few more
add
zeros
more-
to that, that gets just that just a little bit more fucked up.
Does that change what we must do?
For the society to push forward, for this, all of our societies to push forward, and to forget this piece of our of our history. This has to happen.
Well, considering the majority of the society does not know that even any of this occurred, that doesn't quite seem like the proper argument.
The society has definitely moved on. It's
Um,
the fact that these crimes shouldn't be forgotten. It's the fact that crimes of this level need to have the price paid for them.
Yes. We
yes,
should
but
figure out who the criminals are.
by
And the criminal
annihilating
would-
Wiping out
all
the
of
type of people we want only.
And if the criminals end up being all of them,
That sounds like the answer then, doesn't it? But I sincerely doubt it's all of them. Considering I'm fairly certain that our friend here just mentioned that there were two races among them.
he did. But my question would be, yes, they have direct influence because they can connect to the world, and yes, they did a heinous thing, but wouldn't, say, locking them in their own little domain, unable to interact with this domain anymore, not be a more fitting punishment? If that was a possibility we had on the table.
How do you plan to?
There must be something that connects the worlds, right? Or the
Yes.
astral planes. There must be a way that it can be blocked or severed.
I mean, we can take one of these devices and right to the center of the genesis of those bridges.
And that would sever every plane from each other. In turn, they can only interact with themselves and
For a
gods are now in
short
a-
time. For a short
for-
time.
Mm.
Well, for a time. Short is relative. It would give a reprieve, but they would return at some point someday.
some point
They
someday.
would likely have the power to recreate it. Even if they didn't, if it can be destroyed, it can be made. So someone
something-
would potentially eventually fix it.
But something they did not make. It would take a long time to study such a thing as a natural phenomenon.
And they do not ever die of old age, so they would have that time.
And technically, neither do we anymore, unless we are killed.
Yes, people die when they are killed.
I'm not saying
the point being, Darius, is that letting the ones that committed this crime live in any sense is wrong.
I'm saying by time. To be able to try them properly. To
That would
create
not
this,
so much
raise
by
this
time as
world's technology level to be able to combat them properly on an equal footing.
We
I'm
can
not
already do
saying
that, and I point to the devices.
yes, and potentially kill those that did not participate in the crime. They're being punished by association, as Cam said.
So
We took-
isolate those ones out and remove them. But at the end
That's
of the day, locking
That's
them
the point of
away simply
buying. That's the point of
locking them
buying
away.
time to be able to fight them on an equal footing.
locking them away just warns them of our intentions.
And what can they
And that-
do? Raise an army while they're up there,
Potentially.
Yeah, I would not put it
and
past
so can
them.
we.
And fighting another war like that is simply going to bring the previous destruction back to here.
Not if we meet them on the bridge.
there are more than one way across the worlds.
Further, the level of destruction that would occur from a fight like that would spill out and over. This fight between them to create where they were now. Well, you all have heard the stories of the previous continents and everything else and all of that. I'm gonna kind of look across the group to like make sure they all know what I'm referring to there. Are true, and this fighting that created the gods destroyed that beyond all repair. The few survivors literally had to abandon that and come here to be able to continue living. That is the kind of level of fight we would go for if we met them on the field of battle. I'm not sure there's a place for us to go this time. Not unless, Cam, you've stumbled on like a third continent in your books or something like that.
I have not, but I also have not exactly been a world explorer.
And actually, this game's just going to have kind of interest peak for a second. I'm going to look at the curator, or unless you know of a way for us to go up there.
Then again, we did just talk to somebody on a different continent,
I mean,
or attempt to anyway.
I was hoping that's why I made the deal. I was hoping you guys had a possible in, maybe.
Buddy, I just found we found out. Do the rest of these guys even know about space yet?
I don't
Like,
think
we could look up
No.
at the sky and see stars, but that's about it.
Has any of the others been?
No.
So the rest. Oh shit.
So
I'm gonna kind of
So-
give him this look of like, I just found out that was a thing. You expect us to have an in?
We haven't had contact with them since prior to the war, the first war.
Yeah,
They left us here.
yes, I know that. I'm saying is, do
Wait.
you have the
wait,
technology
wait,
still
wait,
or know where to
wait,
find it to be able to
Wait,
go
who's they?
there?
yes.
gods.
So
No, not
wait,
the gods.
are you meaning what's further past the sky? Is that what you're referring
Yes.
to?
Apparently,
Well,
it's possible to go there.
Okay, then answer his previous question. Do you still have that technology?
Not here.
Not here, but where?
Wasteland.
Yes.
As I say, if we can retrieve it with, and again, we probably over a few years would have the power just to walk that wasteland without any negative effect. We could retrieve the technology and
I would not bet
count
on
on that.
that. Yeah.
is there no
Do
way
you
to
No. And you are not immortal. Even though the gods
Oh.
tell you you are.
Sort of.
Pseudo immortal.
Depends on
I mean, I feel like illnesses and such don't really affect us the same way. Not as severe. and
Radiation
monkeys might be,
poisoning
but-
does. Radiation poisoning still does.
What's radiation and poisoning?
Is there a
This is
way to
why I can-
protect oneself from such thing?
Why do you think they made us?
But we have how many deaths?
If you make a mech suit out of deaths, is it a death suit?
There's your answer to retrieve the technology.
Do you
That's-
trust that that's wandering around that
Even-
long of a distance on another continent?
Even that being said, depending on what areas they go into, they have a hard time surviving.
And you can't bullshit heal yourself.
Unless
No.
we're talking elemental plane of this, it must fade away over time.
Thousands of years? You want to wait that long? Hundreds of thousands of years?
Well, when was the war? Time-wise. Because I think it's been 100,000 years already.
Not that much. It's been more like 50.
50,000?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say 50. Damn, Cam, you were alive during that war.
Like, Cam, you be keeping some secrets, bro.
I mean, technically, I would be alive with that war too.
Cam be like,
Cam's
memory
the
got
ultimate-
wiped.
Cam would have been in the army at the time.
Yeah.
Cam be like, yeah, so about this. I'm gonna have to kill y'all now.
Cam's like, I'm the ultimate bad guy.
It's the long
I'm
game,
the
motherfucker.
bad guy.
Cam is literally the definition of spin around in the swivel chair. I've been expecting you.
Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond.
Mr. Scamos.
Mr. Hamilton.
You know, the funny thing is, he does have the voice for it.
Anyway, but yes, started the initial about 50,000 years ago, and it went for a long time.
So the war started 50,000 years ago. How many years since it ended?
It's been about 3,000 years.
What?
Is
Yeah.
there any material that is effective against radiation?
That has been lost to us. At one point there was, but there's either not enough of it. Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
What is this? What is this place made out of, or the containers for those made out of, to keep them safe in case something went wrong with them? Implying towards the
Tinfoil?
nukes.
Well, they're not current. Well, they give off a little bit of it, but they're not.
Yes, but how long have they been sat in here?
Since the end of the war.
Since the war. So that means that this place would be absolutely bathing in what little they've been giving off this entire time.
You just see like Guzik like put his hand up to his head and is like check his temperatures. It's like, I feel normal.
We're deep enough that it doesn't matter.
But we're directly in the room with them.
Yes, you are.
And what is this room made out of?
Are these things even leaking that right now?
No, they're not.
Apparently, he said they were giving off a mild amount, and they've been doing that the entire time since the war. So they're not. They're not 100% encased.
These ones are encased within its own. But
Oh,
what
if you're
I'm
talking
saying,
about like the shit over there that's still
yes,
leaking. Okay.
yes, that's what I meant. What's the aftermath of the hundreds of ones that they probably used? And by the way, it isn't at least the hundreds. So
I love that Waller is like, there's no material.
there is
Oh,
none.
fuck off.
No.
Something that can help protect against it.
Let's just move a mountain. Hollow a mountain out and move that around.
I mean,
Take it through the dirt, asshole.
I was gonna say, fucking, if we had a material that was somewhat resistant to it, we could just have the debts make themselves out of that. At least then we would know how far they can get.
Is there a way to detect this?
I mean, you can build meters. Like, they used to have meters.
Then we can simply attach some to the debts and have them use those to avoid the errors in which they will fail.
So you're going to send the debts to die to do that?
That is why we give them the meters.
To avoid the areas that will.
So you're going to send souls to die.
Again, meters. Avoid the areas that will kill them.
Because, according to you, they're more resistant than we are because of their bodies.
To a point, but they will eventually fail, yes.
Then they get rotated out.
And can't the debts build more debts?
That is also correct.
So then how are the new...
And
when they build
then,
a new debt, where does this all come from?
yeah. Or is it just one soul that's been fragmented across all of them?
It's more than just one, but yes, that theory. It's hard. Can't.
So it's multiple souls that just get fragmented.
Yes.
So each debt is like an amalgamation of one
Should we have
soul.
them start building more
Yes.
debts?
Because then it's not destroying the entire soul, is it? A fragment gone, but a fragment would return. How it worked with Tiamat. Solves that logic puzzle.
But it's multiple souls. There's different quote unquote variants of debts. They all work together, but they have multiple souls. Like it's
I'm assuming
multiple.
that there is a prime debt for each soul.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that one can identify itself in some way.
If you ask it, potentially.
Well, we just keep the primes back then.
We are debt. That's all it's going to say.
Well, that's simple enough. Whatever prime debt it is will not be the one that is recently built. We just have it build one and then send that one, newly built one off.
And we can use the prime debt to talk to the other debts. Because of us doing good deeds, we have to kill ourselves is not exactly an answer I am comfortable with. I'd rather go out in a blaze of glory and mutual destruction rather than that. But if we can do another method that can save lives, even if we do have to go out in that blaze of glory, that's my preferred option.
I mean, there is a way to remove the power from you as well.
No thanks, I think I'm good.
Wait, so there is a way to remove the power. Is there not a way to make a device that we could literally drop in their domain that could do that?
What do you think these do?
Destroy everything.
Exactly.
That's
So we have to die.
That's the solution. Is you have to destroy everything so the power is nowhere to go, and it returns to the universe.
Yeah.
So it can't be removed from us unless we die.
No, it can be removed from you
It'll go
and
somewhere
put
else.
into another container. But you still have to destroy the power
But
in its
is
entirety.
there not a device we can use to remove it from the gods?
Yeah,
Something
you
that we
have
could
it. The soul dagger that y'all have? Yeah, those things.
I say a tidal wave of debts with soul daggers. And then we can punish those that truly deserve it. Win-win for everyone.
So wait, are you saying like power comes from our souls?
Power comes from the souls that were wiped out to gain power in the past. But
Soul
the
power, yeah, souls grant power, and they can grant power and give power. And also you can use them to maintain your power too. So like it's the power, souls are the power source for all the divine, basically.
So wait, seeing as we absorbed
Victor's
the divine power, yeah, we absorbed 2 power of the gods, and we just wiped out how many fucking orcs?
Yes.
Well, you
Well,
did
shit.
specifically.
You helped.
Yes.
But technically speaking,
Doesn't-
by that logic, anyone who kills somebody gains power from their soul.
You gain power,
yeah,
yeah.
it's called XP.
So basically it's something that happened.
Here I go, killing again.
Sorry.
Don't break in the fourth wall,
wall.
motherfucker. So what you're telling me is that it's a process that happens naturally anyway.
Yes.
The way they did it is not the best, is not a good way of doing it.
Correct.
Right. And so those that obtained their power and became gods after the initial ones that did it in the really terrible way
Correct.
didn't do it the same way as the right. So yes, there are the just and the unjust in the situation.
Correct.
So you're basically telling us to deal with thing that happens naturally. And yes, those that did a terrible thing need to be punished for it. I agree with that. But this is something that would happen to us anyway.
Not at this level.
Well, at the level that they did it, yes, I
Yes.
understand that. That's what I'm saying.
But
But we would have gained
there's-
power from souls one way or the other either way.
Yes,
is what I'm implying.
when someone dies or passes on, say in combat or by natural causes, it's not happening in mass like it was. You remember, it's the concentrated amount. That's what
I
really
assume if you were in a
kickstarted
battle,
this.
you were in a grand battle and you were the sole survivor,
Yes.
you would come out of that a lot powerfuler than you originally were.
Yes, and
And
that's
that's
where a
probably how
lot of that's
The
where
new gods came from. I'm
gods
assuming.
or those that are part of myths or legends. Yes.
Right.
But that does not make them immortal.
Yes, it does not make them immortal. They can still die. We've
Yes.
proved that fact twice so far. But it does
Depends on
grant.
your definition of immortal.
It does grant immunity. Well, not immunity, but resistance to such things as something that could be a fatal wound you could shake off in certain regards, depending on where it hit.
Depends, but yes.
Okay.
Shall we leave the area now so we're not exposing to you all the potential radiation in this room? Okay.
Yeah. Let's step out of this room before we all start dying.
They close the door and the curator grabs the keys.
Mr. Darius, I don't feel too well.
No! God, like as he fucking disappears the dust in my hand.
I become one with Earth.
So, right. So we've broken down the phenomenon is something natural, but there was a terrible thing that happened.
It was a natural
Yeah.
it was a natural part of how everything existed,
Right.
coexisted.
So
It was balanced. But
so
then
in that way,
figured-
we have
yes.
proven the theory that Cam brought up that not all of them deserve it.
Yes.
So Darius is on Cam's side with this one.
Yes. But the ones that don't know that were created after the fact may also be like there might be some Scamos and Cam are both right to an extent. Yeah.
Some of the new ones may have done it through terrible
Yes.
means themselves,
Yes.
which I
Yes.
understand that, but some of them may have just been soldiers fighting in a battle where they only end up as like the last
Mhm.
person, and they gain a mythos, and as they rise, other people who have done such things
Yes.
themselves may end up fighting them, and of course, that's a lot of power slamming into the other one when one loses.
Yes.
Just because
So-
someone amassed power does not necessarily mean they did so unjustly.
Yes.
They very well could
So
have
both
ended up with it after taking
both
down
opinions
someone
are
that gave it-
right, but it's more grey than it is black and white.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, he leads you guys back to the main hall where you guys were at before. And Arir, you have woken up by this point.
Well, what happened?
Shh, Arid. The grown-ups are talking.
What do you mean?
Rear
I mean,
reaches
he's
into
probably
his
20 years younger than me, but he's still grown up.
rear
He's
reaches
older,
into
and then
his
he's older than you, Darius.
Yes, but he still wants to play with anything that's explosive. like a
rear reaches
child.
into his back waist, reaching for the D.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm on about.
He looks back. What the hell's it go? He puts his arm down his pants.
Oh God.
No, it's not there.
My God, that's the wrong deagle. And he moves on.
I knew dwarven.
That's the wrong barrel.
Kinds of dwarves had beards, but I didn't realize. Never mind.
What were you gonna
Yeah.
say?
I've grabbed the wrong boomstick.
I didn't realize that female dwarves looked that masculine.
Damn it, I can't say
Anyway.
anything to you because you saved my life.
I will leave you all to discuss now. I have things to accomplish.
What are we discussing?
The best way to attempt this.
Hey, Scamos,
Yo,
roll me a
Hear them.
religion
Go to his room
check.
and roll them.
Roll me a religion check there, boss man.
20 non-natural.
So as you guys walk out of the area where he took you back into the main main hall, you get a feeling of a very familiar presence.
Okay, which presence is that? There's a lot of familiar presences these days, boss.
Your patron or
Okay.
former patron, and as
And/or
you get
current?
and as you guys walk out and Curator walks off, he is actually sitting in a chair in the library in the archive.
Amos
Well
is gonna
then.
pretend to look at a wristwatch. Look back up. Damn, 20 seconds later than I thought you'd be.
Oh.
I'm just expecting more sass to come out of Scamos.
By the way,
slow
you all can see him like plainly, like everybody can see him. This isn't just a Scamos is talking to air conversation.
He has manifested like an avatar
Yes.
of the world in front of us.
Yes.
Is this the first time?
I mean, yeah, y'all tend to show up like the moment we start to stumble onto something you don't want us knowing about, so I'm kind of surprised.
Well,
20 seconds late for that one.
Arir, this is probably the first time you've been conscious that he's been here, so yes.
Yeah, I don't think I've really actually interacted with any of the gods.
No, I have not. I don't believe so, at least.
2 week of will.
2 week of will. It would break his fragile mind. It's like,
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
gotta get to Cthulhu.
Yeah, it would be.
Or I break
So-
the god. Who's that? Is he another curator?
yes. Cool.
Yes, I
Look at those
do,
books.
actually. I built him.
Yes, you are a curator?
No, he knows the curator is what he implied.
I built them.
So
Given what we know about this now, give me one reason why we shouldn't try and kill you where you sit.
Because I have a proposition.
it's also not his proper physical body.
I have
I'm
a
start looking for a
proposition.
rock.
Okay, I
Oh
mean
my
you find it like a paperweight. It's not really a rock.
I won't do. I need a pebble.
What you fucking oh fuck, what's that story?
But he have a proposition, or the gods have a proposition for you. Stop seeking your current route, your path, and we will take care of Tiamat.
I have considerable doubts about this, considering you refused to take care of Tiamat for the longest time, saying you couldn't.
Well,
Well, they were lying because they wanted us to do it, but in this case, now that their neck is on the line when we're done with Tiamat, all of a sudden it's in their best interests to finally get involved. Funny how that works.
I wanted to get
Yeah.
involved from the beginning, thank you very much. But I was outvoted as I'm one of the more,
Newer.
as we say, less powerful of the gods, yes. Well, would you even want to call us that anymore? I guess that's up to you.
You gain power through a natural phenomenon.
Mm,
And
No,
in
he
Isaac,
built these guys.
well, yeah.
He's one of the ones that participated in that massive destruction.
that wasn't their original intent.
Were you ham-hocked into it, or did they just say,
Scamos is giving
Yeah,
him a very
come on.
clear look of, yeah, I don't believe you.
That was not their original intent. They were built to help.
Along with all the technology of the time?
No, the technology was perverted to serve other means.
Well, I mean, I don't mean obviously that technology specifically.
What technology we?
I mean other bits.
The devices.
Sure.
By devices, what are you referring to by devices?
What the hell are we talking about?
I thought I'm not trying to say the word because I thought the rule was not to talk about that in front of him and points to rear.
Yeah, no, not them.
Ah, okay.
Other
looks
technology
fine.
of the time.
Yes.
Seeing
Hey,
as you,
Scamos, can we borrow that one spell? That
What,
starts with
what?
an S.
Sleep.
I need Derrier to be whacked on the head a couple of times before that works.
Has anyone seen my?
Okay, a rear hold still. No.
Plode, can you do the shocky thing again?
You
No,
do the thing, Claude?
he needs to hear this time.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
What?
How much
He's
of
a
that
grown
technology did you
adult. Don't you
create?
believe in him?
Look, if this time you're trying to make
No.
me do an intervention to start drinking, you guys have
What
to
the
make up your
fuck?
mind.
Can't... Jesus Christ.
You
How much of
see,
that? Ooh, go, Percy.
you see, what's happened to him, and he points to rear, are the ones that we use to create the curators, or the debts.
What?
I assume it was willing to begin with.
Of course. But remember, he had a quote-unquote pieces of the god living in him, did he not?
Yes, to act as a prison.
She wouldn't shut up.
Well, those touched by a god were the ones that were selected.
So it's not just any soul then.
Well, eventually others have turned that into any soul, but that was the original intent. Again, perversions by our enemies.
You know, everybody seems to be their enemies here, but
Okay, who were your enemies?
The other gods.
Yeah, you joined them.
Where were they your enemies?
When were they our enemies?
No, why were they your enemies? What did they do? Did they attack you? Was there some? Were they the ones doing the atrocities?
I mean, they committed plenty of atrocities, and it was
mean,
all
you did
about
as
who
well.
we had to do what we had to do.
I don't feel that excuses genocide.
Well, genocide was a byproduct of what happened. I won't say that genocide didn't occur because it did. And it's something I have to live with every day of my existence. I just wanted to help. I just wanted to build things that were going to help people. And to watch your creations get turned and perverted into causing those genocides.
What were you building to help people? And
You're
when was
not
this?
following this conversation very well, are you?
We were going to find exploding things, and then now I'm here talking to someone who is, I don't know, playing as a god or using. I don't
Are
know.
you a god?
Oh my god,
So-
are you a god?
You created a lot of technology yourself. Does that include technology that takes you up there?
I worked on it. I did not create it.
Feel as a being that could look over everything, you might be able to get all of that information.
Potentially.
Could be useful.
But why would I give it to you if you're going to kill us all?
I'd prefer not to end it like that.
Well,
Only those that are deemed deemed to have done it for with evil intent.
don't
Everything
think you
should
can
be fair and
excuse
just.
genocide by, well, we didn't intend to do it at the time, Darius.
He's saying his faction didn't intend to do it at the time. It was a byproduct of the war that they had to try and match the other side that had
So
started
we're
it.
going
Is
to
what he's
excuse. So we're
I'm
going
not
to
excusing it.
excuse
I'm not
them.
excusing it, but I can see the reasoning, as terrible as it is. You need fire to fight fire sometimes. This whole situation is not black and white, Scamos. It is a hell of a lot of different shades of gray.
Doesn't matter what shades of gray it is when it
Don't
crosses a
be 50 of
line.
them.
There are
Fuck off.
certain lines. There are certain lines that, when crossed, it does not matter anymore. Genocide on a level that destroyed an entire continent is one of them.
It wasn't just one continent, by the way.
That
Wow,
doesn't
believe
make
that
it
is-
better.
But
So, out of all the gods that could have appeared to us right now, yours specifically, there could have been a god here that just decided, "Oh, I'm just going to come down and wipe them out right now. But he's at least willing to talk.
I think the rest of them are also
He's
probably
the
scared we would have
sacrificial lamb.
clicked the button.
Yes, but I think
Gamos
the
is not wrong.
Sacrificial
It-
lamb.
or a willingness to die for his crimes.
Column A,
Like I
column
said,
B.
sacrificial lamb.
Dusty in here.
So what it'll be? You guys going to continue? And if that's the case, you gonna let me walk out of here? Or do I have to pay?
Would you? I believe there is a time of reckoning for you. It depends on how you would proceed to.
I'm asking Scamos, as he is the one that probably understands me the most here.
Question.
Yeah.
Why not, or rather, alternative, why not, it kind of turns to the rest of the group, why not let him try to kill Tiamat, and we continue doing whatever the thing is that they don't want us to do. And then if it works, we give it up,
I
and,
feel like he doesn't have the power to take on Tiamat directly.
well, then, I mean, it sounds like we wanted him gone anyway, so problem solved. And then we solve our own problem, as we were going to do anyway.
As you said, Scamos understands you the most. You were a trickster god? In the sort of words you described, like to play pranks.
Yes.
Was
One
it
of the.
delicious?
I mean,
Sometimes.
yes.
Because emotion can bring such things out.
And also, people deserve it.
Yet you seem quite willing to pay for your crimes right now.
Because I have more, I don't want to say foresight, but
He has no doubt that he is guilty.
yeah. I've accepted my fate, whatever that may be. Death would bear me a reprieve, but living may not, or vice versa. All
As he
depends
said.
on what happens here.
As he did say, Scamos, you are his judge in this situation. But remember, he also does know a lot of the ancient technology. Could be a way to atone a bit before his reckoning.
That is honestly the only reason I am sitting here still considering.
Well, what did this ancient technology do?
A lot of things, including going off this world.
If we can recover that, would that be possible again?
In time, maybe.
I do have another question for you. Are there other gods like you that know of their guilt and believe that they have done wrong, but are like you in a way would be willing to repent with death?
Most of us, actually.
But some not.
The council, mainly the ones that do not, the older ones. Many of us that are younger or gained our power after the war either have learned the total truth, or even the newer ones, we've been talking with them.
How did the newer ones feel about it? About hearing what happened to the older lot?
We've had civil wars over such matters. And total strife.
I see an advantage in that.
Why do you think people like Victor gained power? What do you think that whole event that's created Victor and his father and his brother, how you all think that came to be?
And you said that there are many.
That was just one of the squabbles.
Just one.
Yes.
You said many would have your same mindset. Would they side with you if
I
you
don't
tried
know.
to say? Could you think of some that would? I'm not saying all, but
potentially, but we're not strong enough.
I'm not saying you do it alone. But I'm saying the seeds to be sown when the time comes. Better to go out in a blaze of glory and pay for your sins than to, say, be executed on the spot. A bit of redemption near the end. Even if you have committed the most heinous of acts.
I will have to see. Anyway, Scamos.
The verdict is his.
Yes.
This man's struggling.
Yep.
Probably doesn't help that I've just been pushing to a side here a little bit.
Yep. And here is also why it's your choice, Scamos. Without your continued support, I disappear and lose my power.
What?
You don't want to. You're probably one of the last few followers of his.
I become irrelevant.
In a way, his flame is.
Wait, how do you become irrelevant?
I don't have followers and no way to.
Are you telling me that I am the last follower of the Traveler?
All the others are dead. Yeah.
He's a flame so close to being snuffed out.
You shut up, Darius.
You are the one and only. Scamos.
Then how have you not lost all your power already if the power comes from belief?
You have a lot of power of your soul.
Yeah, I know I have a lot of power on my soul. I fail to see how I have that much.
IOUs.
IOUs. Of course, the trickster god made a fucking few.
And
fucking
I've also deals. But those are starting to run out. But I haven't really been pushing to expand my footprint like some of the others, like Victor and Chaos, and a lot of them have. And that's where their continued power comes from. Worth to think about and ponder. Because it is 7:17, and I think King Hall or Mr. Mini needs to probably start going to bed because he's a
bitch.
He's a bitch.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He is a bitch.
But
no. So by the way, I would like
Yeah.
to say, all I can picture is the traveler just basically saying to Scamos, "You are my one and only."
basically,
I know. I had that in my head too.
Yup.
Alright, I'll set y'all on fire when we fucking come back in for the next one.
But yeah, we'll
Except Cam. Cam gets to be left alone because Cam's not an asshole.
How am I an asshole?
you sang the song.
Wait, hold on. I
You
haven't
are
sang
an
the song.
You sang the song and you're trying to be a manipulative little shit.
I'm not being manipulative. I'm seeing advantage.
Wait,
No,
what have
you're
I
being a
done?
manipulative little shit.
What have I done?
You stood too close to her rear.
He's got you.
I had to make sure he
Yeah,
wasn't going to
don't-
kill himself.
By the way, where's my
Don't stand so close.
It's in my
to
pants.
me.
Please tell me you have it in the front waistband.
No,
The
no,
safety's on
But-
her.
no. It's in my bag of
I
holding.
like how this is kind of going. So it's interesting.
Get a little bit of intrigue going here just to
Intrigue. Get a little bit of how many of the gods are we gonna fucking slit the throats of?
Yep.
No.
And you get a nuke. And you get a nuke. And you get nuked.
Y'all get nukes.
you do realize we are building a rebellion inside the gods to back us the fuck up.
And then we nuke them. Wait, what?
Because I feel like a bunch of the newer gods aren't gonna side with Atrocity because they were probably like heroes in one form or another. Some of them were. I'm not saying all
Mhm.
of the newer gods.
And some of them did ascend from your continent too. It's not all from the
Yeah,
old continent.
we're okay.
So
Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, you know, they're totally gonna side with the. We're okay with mass fucking genociding a continent of people. More than a continent of people, I should say, at this point.
Yeah.
Who said they know about it?
Well, he just openly said that he's been discussing it with them. They've been discussing it.
let's just say, for out of character, just to cut for context on that, the Traveler has been trying to build stuff on his own. He has. Because he's basically like,
He's
no, this
guilty
is
by-
bullshit.
He's
Yeah.
guilty for what he has done. Then
Yes, and he's trying to fix it. The problem is he's not powerful enough to fix it.
He was
So,
stuck in a war where his technology was perverted.
Yep.
Hello, let's look at some scientists of our own history.
Yep.
But in that situation, it was fight fire with fire or be fucking extinguished. He knows he's guilty. He's accepted it. He knows
and
that
he
he
had
needs
the
to pay.
proverbial, and he had the proverbial gun pointing to his head anyway. So
Yeah,
taking
he's
the bullet.
He's literally borderline out as it is. I say use it to our advantage. If he
Just
can
come
provide
back and
us,
scam us like Begone Thought, and he just fades out of existence.
You know what, Star? If that's the decision Scamos makes, I promise you I'll use that exact line.
Oh my god.
No.
Be gone, thought.
because
Turns around, disappears from existence.
But Scamos, we had something special.
Cool guys don't look at gods fading from existence.
All right, stream coming
I
down.
see.
Recording coming down.